So when I got into real estate, I was 21, 22 years old, still pretty fresh in my professional life. And I was really nervous because I felt like I had a lot against me. I didn't have experience in the industry. My age was obviously a factor that kind of hung up in my mind. And I just really wanted this to be the real thing when we started this real estate business. And I remember asking one of the agents in my office kind of what he might recommend to a new agent if he had any advice. And we were just having this conversation and he looked at me and he thought, well, I don't know. I don't really know any advice. I guess my best advice would be always to get it in writing. Ha ha ha. And then he kind of laughed it off. And that was really good advice. But looking back, I think that as a new agent, I didn't necessarily need advice because you learn so much of what you need to do in real estate on the job. What I actually needed to understand was what was going to be expected of me as a professional, as a human. Like, what characteristics did I really need to dig deep and tap into in order to overcome the challenges that new real estate agents face? So instead of giving new agents advice, what I would actually like to do is share what I find are the 3 most common characteristics of successful real estate agents. Like, what are 3 characteristics that the top producers all tend to have in common? That's what I'm gonna share with you in this video. And you might wonder, well, who is this person to share such knowledge? Well, I've actually coached thousands of real estate agents across the country in growing and scaling their businesses over the last 4 years, and I speak with agents every single day. I'm very well acquainted with the challenges that they face in this market and wherever they are in their business, truthfully. And I find that there are 3 characteristics that they tap into when they really need to overcome adversity. This is a horribly challenging real estate industry. This industry in general is very challenging for a lot of real estate agents, a lot of business owners. And so there tend to be some commonalities in terms of how they overcome that adversity, and that's what I want to share today. The first characteristic, don't roll your eyes at me, is action-oriented professionals. So those who are action-oriented always find their way through and above sticky situations. And I actually learned this from a mentor in my early days of real estate. And I remember asking her, like, what did you do when you were starting up? She had a really impressive business, and it was so cool to see how far she had come in such a short amount of time. And I remember asking her, like, what she did to accomplish the things that she did. And she told me that anytime there was a setback or a struggle or a challenge, she just got into the habit of just taking a moment and saying, okay, what's next? What do I need to do next? She was always looking for the next action that she could take to get to the other side of what challenge she was in. And overwhelmingly, this is a characteristic that I see in agents who create incredible momentum for their business. The real estate agents who take action despite of fear, despite of the market, in spite of, wondering if it's going to work or not, the agents who just focus on the next thing they need to do to get closer to their goals are the agents who always outperform lucky agents. Now, the second characteristic that I found is really successful top producing agents are relationship driven. And I know that kind of probably sounds like beating a dead horse at this point, but it really goes back to the basics of this is a relationship business. And the thing that's always worked in real estate is relying on that know, like, and trust factor. People want to work with people who relate to them, people who they know, like, and trust. And social media has not changed that. The modern way of doing things today with technology has not changed that, and in fact, it's made it even more important. And so the real estate agents who leverage social media as a way to expand their database and network, the real estate agents who put themselves in the way of creating opportunities by meeting new people every single day, the real estate agents that are out there meeting people, doing their face-to-faces, regardless of whether or not they think it's silly, are the ones who are more successful. And so often I'm coaching real estate agents who come to me and they say, well, Stephanie, I don't really get a lot of referrals because I don't have a large database. I'm new in my professional career, or I just moved to this area. That means you grow your database. And then I walk them through that process on how to do that. And so that's a really good tip for you if you've struggled with this aspect, as many real estate professionals do. You have to find a way to become more relationship driven, even if you tend to be more introverted like I am. So for me, I am a very introverted person. None of this stuff comes naturally to me. Not being on social media, not being on camera, and certainly not being in crowds or networking events or meeting with people face to face. I swear, every now and then, still, I'll have a totally normal conversation with another professional, and I will leave that conversation and be thinking about every single thing I said and wonder if I said something wrong. But really, it's so important to do, and I just have to remind myself, you know, you're networking, you're meeting with people, you're growing your business, and you're looking for ways to serve. Nobody cares if you say the wrong thing or if you come off wrong. Like, it's really just a matter of being relationship driven, finding ways to cultivate more connection, and developing the relationships that you have and need to start to be successful. Okay, so what have we covered so far? Top producing agents are action-oriented, they are relationship-driven, and finally, they are systemized. Now, I know that the systems thing is a big term around here. I talk about systems a lot. You know that I think that it is core to the success of any real estate business. And truly, I have seen this executed in so many different ways with all kinds of top performing real estate teams and even solo businesses. Top producing real estate agents are systemized. They either have gone through a process similar to mine of documenting their systems and delegating it and using it as a way to scale. Other agents who might be solo agents or small but mighty teams have their systems in their head. And that actually is a sticking point for a lot of them when they ultimately come to somebody like me to seek help to get their business out of their head, because their business has grown so much to where they just can't keep up with everything. But those agents are still systemized thinkers. They understand the results that they want to create with every client. They understand the workflow that every process has to follow. And they do a really good job of filing that in their head, and they can visualize it, they can run it really well. The challenge that they run into is that if they ever want to take a break or take a vacation, or if they get sick or need a maternity leave, whatever, their business stops because they're no longer running the system in their head. Now, I just share this so that you know there's a couple of different ways that systemized thinking actually manifests in top producing real estate agents and teams. And I want to let you know that I have spoken and worked with agents who net over $1 million a year, and they've been in the business for 15 or 20 years. They sell over 100 homes each year, and they can't do it anymore because they are so exhausted with managing all of this chaos in their head, but they've never taken the time to actually put it down on paper and utilize technology to automate some of this work for them. And so I always think that that's kind of funny. It is a really predictable characteristic of a successful real estate agent, but sometimes it looks a little bit different. Certainly, plenty of other real estate agents have figured out how to leverage technology, automate a lot of this workflow. They've done a lot of that work already, and those agents really get to tap into the benefits of freedom, flexibility, unlimited income. And once you achieve that, once you create a business that is action-oriented, relationship-driven, and systemized, the sky is the limit. Like, you can truly reach endless heights to your business once you have these three characteristics. And I think that what's really cool is if you're a brand new agent, or if you're a real estate agent who's just trying to figure out like how to get to that next level, these are three characteristics that any professional can develop in their business. And so I would challenge you to kind of get quiet and really think about these three characteristics and whether or not you are embracing and exhibiting them. And if there is something here missing, I wonder if you can pull that thread and see if that is tied to a weakness or a challenge that you are experiencing in your business right now. And if that's the case, I might be able to help. I actually work with real estate agents of all experience levels and all over the US and Canada on how to grow and scale their business in a way that it supports the lifestyle they dream of, not the other way around. So if you're into that kind of thing, you can actually find a way to book a call with me to learn about coaching through the Market Authority Academy. I would love to walk you through how I might be able to help you leverage some of these characteristics in your own professional life to see even greater benefits and results in the real estate industry. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Did I strike a chord here, or did you have an aha moment? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, do me a solid, hit subscribe to this channel and hit that bell notification icon to be notified anytime I'm dropping new videos just like this. Your engagement with this video and this channel really helps me reach other real estate agents who need this kind of content too. And I think that if we're all going to succeed in this industry, it takes a little bit of help from our colleagues all around. So anyone who's willing to support me in that mission is a friend of mine, and I want to stay in touch with you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Till next time, keep on crushing it.